Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Sophie Rey. Today I have a slow flow practice for you, and it is based on the concept of Sthira and Sukha. So Sthira meaning stable, grounded, alert, and Sukha meaning comfortable, easy, or relaxation. There is a yoga sutra which states asana must have dual qualities of alertness and relaxation. And that sutra or guideline in yoga is Sthira-Sukham Asanam. There are only 3 sutras out of 196 that actually talk about asana. And the first one is Sthira-Sukham Asanam. So with Sthira, the body should be firm and steadfast, and the mind fixed and unwavering. And with Sukha, we should try and find ease and relaxation within that. So it's not a heaviness or a dullness, but we're also not tensing so much that maybe we can't breathe, maybe we can't sustain the posture that we're in. So we're trying to find these two, a balance of the two as we move around the mat. And we can always take that off the mat as well. So it's how do we navigate challenges in a calm and centered way. So it's like keeping your cool and staying grounded and strong in your opinion, but without flying off the handle. So how can we handle challenges that we face with this balance of steadiness and ease, or effort and surrender, or maybe effort and ease? So I invite you to explore those two concepts as we move through this slow flow today. And just noticing what comes up for you. If you've never heard these two before, let's keep an open mind, whether you have or haven't. Let's just keep an open mind anyway as we practice today. And notice when you might be overly tensing, or maybe not putting in much effort, maybe feeling quite apathetic about it. And let's see if we can find that balance. Right, so let's start in Sukhasana, a comfortable, easy seat. Sitting cross-legged. If that doesn't feel comfortable for you, then find a position that does. Maybe that is feet to the floor, knees bent. Find a wave of length in the spine, or maybe soles of feet together, knees out wide. Let's find somewhere that feels sustainable. And we're going to take a breath in to lift up through the crown of the head, grow a little taller. And then exhale to allow your pelvis to feel heavy. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. You might close your eyes. Breathe in to lift up through the crown of the head. Let's lift up and out of the pelvis. Notice that effort to sit tall. Exhale to allow your pelvis to be heavy, but keep that length in your spine. Let's keep a little alertness there as we relax the shoulders and the face. Breathing in, sit tall. Breathing out to soften. Next inhale, let's bring the shoulders up to the ears. Little squeeze of the muscles around the neck and shoulders. Exhale to slowly release. Inhale, shoulders up to ears. Exhale to release. One more, inhale to lift. Exhale to release. Start to sway the shoulders from side to side. Let's start to bring a little bit of movement into the spine. And again, you can close your eyes here. And as you rock your shoulders and your rib cage from side to side, you might drop opposite ear to opposite shoulder. And you might sync breath and movement. We will explore that in the practice today. Let's start to take this into some circular movements. Next time you're over to the right side, scoop forward, take it over to the left, lean back, Broaden across the upper back as you take it over to the right, and we keep it going. Let's take one more circle in this direction and take it in the opposite direction. And we can notice Sthira and Sukha at any point in the practice, because what one person finds challenging, another person might not, and vice versa. So it's really noticing it throughout the whole of the practice, not just when we're in a difficult posture, but that's when we can really explore it. Let's bring it back to center, and let's make our way to a tabletop. Coming onto all fours, making sure you've got a couple of blocks towards the top of the mat. Spread the fingers. Let's move through cat-cow. Inhale to dip the belly. Lift the sit bones, heart draws through. Exhale, press the ground away. Tuck the tailbone under, chin towards chest. Inhale to dip the belly, lift the sit bones, heart draws through. Exhale, round and broaden in the upper back. One more, inhale through to cow, lengthen through the front of the body. Exhale to press the ground away, lengthen down the back of the body, and let's stay here. Crown of head looking to the floor, so you're looking to your knees or the back of your mat. Let your head and neck relax. Give it a little nod or shake. And imagine you're trying to press the space between your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. Tuck the toes under, hover the knees about an inch off the floor. Breathe, hug the low belly in. Notice if there's any unnecessary tension creeping in. Let's use those deep, strong breaths. Let's set the knees down. Inhale to dip the belly, lift the sit bones. Let's draw through to our cow and pause here. And you might sway your hips a little from side to side. Breathing in and out through the nose. Slowing it down, deepening the inhales, lengthening out the exhales. Toes tuck under, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Let's pedal it out as we arrive. You might shift forward and back, so moving the weight around. Noticing how it feels today. So depending on what time of day it is for you and how your energy levels are today, how you're feeling mentally, emotionally, all of this can impact our practice. So let's keep checking in. You might have hands up on a couple of blocks. Can help to shift the weight back into the legs if you feel like it's all in your upper body. And also brings the floor to you. Let's come through to downward facing dog. Little bend in the knees. Shift forward to a plank. Bring the right knee towards the right arm. You can always lower the left knee here. Step it back, downward facing dog. Step the right foot to the right hand, ground the left heel down. You can always make your blocks a little bit higher. Warrior one feet. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, palms together, bend the elbows. Inhale, reach the fingers to the sky. Exhale, hands back down to floor or blocks. Step it back to a plank. Lower the knees, take a breath in. Exhale, lower your body to the floor. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale, lift the chest, draw the shoulders back, baby cobra. Exhale, push back through to a child's pose. Pause here. Little sway of the hips. Plant the fingertips down to the floor. Find a little length in the back of the neck. And then find downward facing dog. Maybe hands come back up onto blocks. Take a breath in, bend generously into your knees. Exhale, forward to a plank, left knee to left arm. Hold it here, maybe you drop the right knee. Feel that little squeeze through the left hip. into the left side of the waist. And then step it back, downward facing dog. Step the left foot to the left hand, ground the right heel down, press firmly through the feet. Inhale, rise up, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows, thumbs to the back of the head or back of the neck. Inhale, reach the fingers to the sky. Exhale, hands down. Step it back to your plank of choice, knees up or down. Inhale, lower the knees. Exhale, lower the body to the floor. Slide the blocks out of the way, hands under the shoulders. Option to inhale to lift into baby cobra, or press actively into the tops of the feet. Straighten the arms, lift your knees and thighs off the floor, heart draws through, little squeeze of the bum, upward facing dog. And we exhale, knees down, hips down, lower the chest. Push yourself up through tabletop, moving through to extended child's pose. A brief inhale and exhale. And let's lift the hips, downward facing dog. Okay, remembering that your blocks are there to bring the floor to you. Let's inhale, float the right toes to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the right foot to the right hand, ground the left heel down, warrior one. Inhale as we rise up. Exhale to cactus the arms. Inhale, reach the fingers to the sky, straighten the front leg. Exhale, sweep the hands behind you, interlace your fingers or grab wrists or forearms. Take a breath in, lift the chest. Exhale, bend the front knee, bow over the right thigh. You might stay halfway, so just before you bring your chest or shoulder to the thigh, let's try and keep it lifted, or you might bring your shoulder to the inside of the right thigh. We're not collapsing onto it. We're going to hold this for a few breaths. So you can either gaze down at your right big toe, you can look back to your left big toe, you can let your head hang heavy. And let's find our breath. Become aware of that steadiness, that effort, that alertness in your body. And then noticing those areas that could be comfort. So maybe making sure you're not gripping your toes into the floor. Let's find a little softness in the toes, in the neck. Deep breaths. Inhale as we rise up, reach the fingers to the ceiling. Exhale, cactus the arms again. Scooping your right arm underneath the left. Let's find our eagle arms. Now that might be hands to shoulders, lift the elbows. Backs of hands touch or palms touch. Inhale, lift the fingers or the elbows, find a little back bend. Exhale as you round into your back, elbows towards the stomach. Inhale to lift. Exhale, round through. Big breath in as you lift. Long breath out as you round through. Bring it back to center as you take a breath in. Remain in the eagle arms. Weight comes into that right foot. Start to lift the left heel. Let's float that left foot off the floor. Come to stand at the top of the mat with the left knee. Explore how you get there. Maybe it's a little hop in. Maybe it's one big step in. Take your time. Breathe. Start to bend into the right knee. Turn the left knee out to the side. Couple of options. Ankle just above the right knee and we sit down, figure four. Or you can cross your left thigh over your right. Maybe your toes meet the floor or a block and you find your eagle legs. Maybe the toes hover, maybe you wrap the foot around the calf. If either of these just don't feel good, you can always take a tree pose, foot to calf or thigh or ankle and heel connect. Hold it here. Breathe. Find a spot to focus on. Relax those areas that are overly tensing. Feel the areas that are engaging, that are alert. How can you bring a little softness and comfort in here? On your next inhale, let's unravel, lift the knee. Exhale, send the leg back, hinge forward, a warrior three. Step the left foot back, left toes point to the long edge, right toes to the short edge, arms reaching wide in your warrior two. Gaze over your right fingertips. Inhale, flip the right palm. Exhale, right fingers to the sky, left hand meets the back thigh. Reverse the warrior. Inhale, back through warrior two. Exhale, windmill the hands down to meet your blocks. Step it back, downward facing dog. You can stay in downward dog, you can come to a tabletop or a child's pose, or you can flow forward into your plank. Lower the knees, take a breath in. Exhale, lower the body down. Inhale through baby cobra or lift knees and thighs. Up dog, press the ground away. Exhale back through to downward facing dog. Do what you need to do to make your way back to downward dog. We'll meet there together. Ready for the left side. We're going to take around 3 breaths. So you can stay in downward dog, you can come to rest, you can sit back to your heels or find a child's pose. As we take a breath in, send it down to your belly button. Let it out through the nose or the mouth. Deep breath in. Long breath out. One more. Taking a moment to recenter. And let's take that on the other side. Downward facing dog. Inhale, float the left toes to the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale to step the left foot to the left hand, ground the right heel down, warrior one stance. On an inhale, we rise up. Exhale to cactus the arms. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach the fingers to the sky. Exhale, sweep your arms behind you, find your grip of choice. Take a breath in, lift the chest. Exhale, bend the front knee, bow over the left thigh. Take a breath in when you need to. Exhale to continue the journey. Maybe you're staying here halfway. Maybe you're going a little further. Maybe you're bowing all the way down. Crown of head looks to the floor. Give the head a little nod or shake. You might look back to your right big toe or the back of the mat. And let's see if we can become aware of the sole of the right foot pressing into the floor. So all of the weight isn't on that left leg. Let's bring that right leg in. Remember, you can come out of this whenever you like. So you don't have to stay in any of the postures if they don't feel right, if you need to come out for whatever reason. Honor what your body is telling you. Let's inhale to rise up. Reach your fingers to the ceiling. Exhale, re-cactus the arms. Scoop the left arm underneath the right. Find your eagle arms on this side. Remember, it might feel different. And we honor any imbalances that we might have. Any niggles, any injuries. We can hold the shoulders, backs of hands touch, or maybe palms. Start to bring the weight into the left foot. Start to lift the right heel. We're exploring stepping to the top of the mat. I'll meet you there. We're bringing the right knee up. You might tap the foot down. Remember, we can always come back to this video and keep practicing. and playing. That's what it's all about. Let's find our eagle. Maybe it's a figure 4. Maybe it's a tree. Maybe it's the eagle pose. You're crossing the right thigh over the left. Maybe the right toes meet a block. Maybe your foot is hovered. Weight is into the left heel. We're sitting back in our imaginary chair. And we're breathing. Again, looking for or exploring, observing Sthira and Sukha, those dual qualities of alertness and relaxation. Even in the most challenging of times. Let's inhale to unravel, lift the knee, release the arms. And on an exhale, let's send the right leg back, hinge forward, reach through the crown of the head, reach through the heel. Slowly step that right foot back, right toes point to the long edge, arms reach wide as we find Virabhadrasana 2, our warrior 2. Inhale to flip the left palm, exhale left fingers to the sky, right hand to the thigh. Inhale back through warrior 2. Exhale, hands all the way down to floor or blocks. Lift the back heel, step it back to your plank of choice, knees up or down. You can go straight to downward dog. You could come to a tabletop and take some cat-cow, or you flow forward into plank. Lower down onto the front, onto your front. Inhale through baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, push back through downward facing dog. Taking 3 breaths, wherever you choose to be right now, and whatever your body needs, whatever your mind needs. Maybe it's a rest, maybe it's that energizing upside down V shape of downward facing dog. And let's meet in a tabletop, so coming down onto the knees. And then bringing your forearms down to the floor. Take hold of your upper arms. So we're measuring out the width of our shoulders. Elbows down to the ground. Keep your elbows where they are and then separate your hands again. Plant your palms down, or you have the option of bringing your palms together. And this is quite good if it feels tight or tense in your shoulders. Or if your wrists feel uncomfortable like this. So I like to have my palms together. Press the forearms into the ground. Try and find a little broadness in your upper back. Start to tuck the tailbone under. Think cat pose. Let your head hang heavy. Crown of head looks to the floor and you gaze to the back of your mat. Find that broadness in your upper back. You can stay here, or you can tuck your toes under and hover the knees. Or you can start to extend the legs, keep pressing the ground away. Crown of head is lifted away from the floor, and you can walk your feet a little closer towards your face. And just notice your hips starting to stack over the shoulders. Maybe there's a bend in your knees. Couple more breaths. Let's see if we can stay for another 5 to 10 breaths. You can choose. Let's see if we can stay for another 5 breaths. Breathing in, breathing out 5. Breathing in, breathing out 4. You can always make adjustments. 2. And let's start to lower the knees. Let's start to send the bum back to the heels. Plant the palms into the floor. You could take your knees wide or have them together. You can either find a child's pose, you can rest your forearms down, you can move from side to side, you can sweep your arms alongside your body. And let's take a moment to rest. You can always sit up as well. If you're in child's pose, start to press through the hands, roll up through your spine. Let's come up into either a kneeling position. If this feels comfortable, you can always stack a couple of blocks one on top of the other and sit back on blocks to take pressure out of the knees and the ankles. Or you can swing your legs around and find a comfortable seat of choice. Sweeping your left hand all the way up and over to the right side of your head. Take a breath in. Exhale, gently draw the left ear towards the left shoulder. You might reach your right arm out. You might wrap it behind your back as if you're trying to touch the opposite hip. And you might look down to the ground and then look up to the ceiling, finding gentle stretch of the neck. On your next inhale, let's come back to center, release, and take it over to the other side. Right arm sweeps up and over. Take a breath in, exhale, ear towards shoulder. Maybe the right arm reaches out, maybe it scoops behind you. And we've got this alertness in the spine, but this softness through the hips, the jaw into the neck. And let's inhale back to center and release the hands down. Give your shoulders a roll. Take a few in one direction, a few in the other. And you have the option of staying in your seated meditation in Sukhasana. Maybe the hands drop down into the lap, back of the right hand rests in the left, thumbs connected. You close the eyes or soften the gaze. You find that alertness and that softness. And maybe this is how you end your practice today, with a few minutes of meditation. Or you can come to lie down and let your whole body rest into the support of the floor. Maybe legs and arms are extended in Shavasana. Maybe you throw a blanket over you. Maybe your knees are bent, feet are wide, let the knees knock in constructive rest. Find a position that can really support you here. Bring your hands to your belly if you're lying down. And sense that rise and fall. Notice if you're gripping or grasping, holding on to anything from that practice. And with each exhale, see if you can find a little more softness. And here, if you're lying down, if you're in Shavasana, you can really let go, let the floor hold you. So whenever you come to your yoga mat, I invite you to consider those two qualities and remember that asana is the state of the body and the mind. So if we think of it more as this state of being rather than the pose itself, and we're aiming to find this state of alertness and relaxation in everything that we do, and we can really take that off the mat. We can integrate that into our everyday life. Any challenges that we face, how can we face them in a grounded, calm, centered way? Keeping our cool, but standing our ground. And that's something to think about. A little food for thought as you go about the rest of your day. If you'd like to stay here for a little while longer, then you're welcome to, but if you're ready to move, let's wiggle the fingers, the toes. Take a big breath in, maybe stretch your arms overhead, full length of your body, the length of the mat. And then let's scoop the knees into the chest. One hand on each knee, let the whole of your back rest to the earth and have a little rock from side to side. You might plant your feet to the floor and gently swish your knees from side to side. Taking the knees all the way over onto one side, rolling onto one side yourself, keeping your eyes closed or your eyelids heavy, pushing yourself up, rolling up through your spine, coming back into your comfortable seat of choice. And if you wish to join me, bringing your hands into prayer, your heart space. We'll take a breath in together. Let it out as you bow your head. Bowing down to anybody that might be sharing the practice with you today. Bowing down to yourself, thanking your body, your breath, your mind and spirit. And I bow down to you. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to guide you. Take care, and I hope to see you again soon.